So friends, Donald Trump is on one hell of a losing streak in court. Let's take on 3 devastating legal losses Trump suffered in just the past 24 hours. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So first of all, friends, apologies for the voice. I'm dealing with a minor bout of bronchitis at the moment. I promise I'm not just trying to go all Barry White on you. But when I saw these 3 new legal developments, I really wanted to jump on and just do a quick Justice Matters video because, one thing is pretty clear. If Donald Trump is king of anything, he is king of losing legal battles. So let's quickly roll through these new legal losses that Donald Trump has suffered. We'll start with this from Reuters. Headline, U.S. judge blocks Trump's plan to dismantle education department. And that article begins, a federal judge blocked U.S. President Donald Trump's administration from carrying out his executive order to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education and ordered it on Thursday to reinstate employees terminated in a mass layoff. U.S. District Judge Myung Jun in Boston, at the behest of a group of Democrat-led states, school districts, and teachers' unions, issued an injunction blocking the department from moving forward with a mass termination announced in March of over 1,300 employees, which would cut its staff by half. This quote from the judge, quote, the record abundantly reveals that defendants, the Trump administration's true intention is to effectively dismantle the Department of Education without an authorizing statute, wrote Judge June. And friends, here's my favorite part. Listen to what Donald Trump's third-rate DOJ lawyers argued in court. Lawyers with the U.S. Justice Department argued that the mass terminations were not an effort to shutter the agency, but a lawful effort to eliminate bureaucratic bloat while fulfilling its overall statutory mission more efficiently. Just put a pin in that DOJ argument. But the judge said the cuts were having the opposite effect, as the massive reduction in staff has made it effectively impossible for the department to carry out its statutorily mandated functions. Quote, this court cannot be asked to cover its eyes while the department's employees are continuously fired and units are transferred out until the department becomes a shell of itself, the judge wrote. He ordered the Trump administration to not just reinstate the workers, but also to halt implementation of Trump's March 21 directive to transfer student loans and special needs programs to other federal agencies. And friends, remember when I just said put a pin in those DOJ arguments that perished the thought, Judge. Nobody's trying to actually shut down the Department of Education. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon announced the mass layoff, known in government parlance as a reduction in force, on March 11, which her agency said was being carried out as part of the Education Department's final mission. Sounds a lot like they're trying to shut down the Department of Education, but wait, there's more. This from Reuters back in March when Trump signed the executive order regarding the Department of Education. Thursday's order was a first step, quote, to eliminate, close quote, the department, Trump said at a signing ceremony in the East Room of the White House. So when his DOJ lawyers go in and say, Judge, nothing could be further from the truth. We're not trying to eliminate the Department of Education. That's exactly what Donald Trump said he was doing, and his Department of Education secretary said these layoffs are part of the final mission. So how these lawyers can go into court, Department of Justice lawyers, and make these bullshit arguments? Okay, let's move on to Donald Trump court loss number 2. This from the AP. Headline, Federal Judge Blocks Immigration Authorities from Revoking International Students' Legal Status. And that article begins, a judge in California blocked the Trump administration Thursday from terminating the legal status of international students nationwide while a court case challenging previous terminations is pending. The order by U.S. District Judge Jeffrey White, a George W. Bush appointed judge, so probably not a radical left-wing lunatic judge, though I'm sure we'll hear Donald Trump call him names very soon. All my editorial edition. The order by U.S. District Judge Jeffrey White in Oakland bars the government from arresting, incarcerating, or moving students elsewhere based on their legal status until the case is resolved. Students could still be arrested for other reasons, and their legal status can still be revoked if they're convicted of a violent crime, carrying a prison term of more than a year. Most courts hearing these types of cases have granted protections to the person suing, but Judge White said the government's actions wreaked havoc not only on the lives of plaintiffs, but other non-immigrants in the U.S. on student visas. White, who was nominated by President George W. Bush, a Republican, issued the nationwide injunction sought by attorneys for about 24 students who sued after their legal status was abruptly terminated in early April by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And friends, in a related story that just broke today, Donald Trump told Harvard University that it can't enroll foreign students. Here's what the AP reported about that. Trump administration bars Harvard from enrolling foreign students. The Trump administration revoked Harvard University's ability to enroll international students in its escalating battle with the Ivy League school, saying thousands of current students must transfer to other schools or leave the country. Well, friends, just like that case we were discussing, this one is going to be struck down right quick. But let's finish with the third legal loss for Trump today. Headline, federal judge tells Alina Habba to operate with a higher standard. Alina Habba, as you'll probably recall, is the flunky that Trump installed as the interim United States Attorney for the state of New Jersey. That article begins, U.S. Magistrate Judge Andre Espinoza told interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, that her office must, quote, operate with a higher standard, as he criticized the hasty arrest and quick dismissal of a trespassing charge against Newark Mayor Ras Baraka. Judge Espinoza on Wednesday granted what he called an embarrassing retraction of the misdemeanor charge stemming from a May 9 scuffle at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention center in Newark involving Mayor Baraka and 3 members of Congress. This from the judge directed at Habba, quote, your role is not to secure convictions at all costs, nor to satisfy public clamor, nor to advance political agendas, Espinoza told Habba. Your allegiance is to the impartial application of the law, to the pursuit of truth, and to the upholding of due process for all. Your office must operate with a higher standard than that. That's right, friends. The judge had to lecture Alina Habba on how to properly carry out the responsibilities of a United States attorney. Because to the judge, like to us, justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow when hopefully my voice sounds a little better.